Hello everybody, it's me Pierre here, and today I wanted to call out a specific YouTuber because I don't find their reviews very helpful or good for the VR community because I'm not saying they're lying, but they're very misleading, and he has different results for his FOV every time, even on the same headsets. People say it's because of his head shape, and sure, I could believe that, but it doesn't make sense for why you would change the FOV for those headsets every time, though. The FOV should be the same because the headset, once it's on your face, it should be not the same as in like everybody else. No, everybody else is gonna have a different FOV. It should be the same for you every time. So meaning, if you get 96 degrees with the Quest 2, it should stay at 96 degrees with the Quest 2 for you when you put it on every time. But for him, it looks like it just doesn't. The Quest 2 was just an example. We're talking about specific headsets here. So, anyway, we're talking about, oops, that's not how I wanted to move my screen. We are talking about, right here, VoodooDE, the brutal truth about the Pimax Crystal. And his Pimax Crystal review is not terrible, but he's clearly a fanboy. I'll get to that in a second. So he gets these FOVs, which is fine. Like, the HP Reverb G2 is a huge point right here. This one, and the Vive Pro 2 right here. These two you're gonna want to look at. Just keep a good eye on these two. For an example, they do change. Now, if I click here, they didn't change, and you might be like, oh, they didn't change here. I don't think they changed here. Yeah, 90, 96, and then 80, 88. Yep, these two didn't change here. But then if you go here, all of a sudden, it changed. And this is the V2. Now, does his say the V2? No, it does not. But this is a modern video, 8 months ago. If we go to the G2, this was 2 years ago. So why is he using the old G2 when HP didn't sell the old HP Reverb G2 anymore and moved on to the V2? This here, using the old values of the G2 is kind of misleading for the G2. As for the Vive Pro 2, I don't know if he has the Vive Pro 2 in this one here. But that's not what I'm trying to get at here. So this one is the Pimax Crystal. Now, you might be wondering, why do I have the HTC Vive Focus Vision? The HTC Vive Focus Vision has the exact same lenses and the exact same kind of dealio going on with its screens. Why is the Vive Focus Vision so much bigger in FOV than the Vive Pro 2? And you might say, because different headset shape. And yes, that could actually be a factor, I agree. But that is quite a big difference. And what I've seen other YouTubers, it's usually only by like 1 or 2 degrees compared to these two. But he does not have a Vive Focus Vision 3 here. I want to know if he reviewed it. So I'm going to look that up real quick. Okay, he doesn't even talk about the FOV at all. He doesn't show this kind of results at all. But also, if you look at the G2, anyway, we're gonna move on back to FOV talking here. 94 over 78 for the G2 V1 in his G2 video. If we go back to the Pimax Crystal video here, and go back to this, now it's bigger. No, it's smaller. It's smaller all of a sudden. That should not happen. Okay, hear me out. In my opinion, VoodooDE, for his reviews, sure, he has some good points in his videos. I'm not saying he's 100% wrong in his videos. His FOVs, take them with a grain of salt, because I don't think he actually tests them properly. I don't think he puts the proper effort into testing them. If you want to look more into FOV kind of things and learn more about that, go to MRTV, or just because MRTV goes into really big depth into FOV, so Go to MRTV if you want to figure out what FOV is about and stuff, because, yes, sure, does VoodooDE possibly have a different kind of, like, eye shape than everybody else? Yes, everybody does. For example, I get 104 degrees with the G2. Everybody else, or most of the time, gets around 98 to 100. So, I'm just lucky that way to get 104 degrees out of my G2. But most people just don't. And there is some people that even get the FOV I have. Oh, and that's this way. I think that's vertical. Oh, is that horizontal? Sorry, I think that's horizontal. Horizontal this way. I get 104 degrees at the G2. And again, everybody gets a different FOV every time. But it's really hard to look at VoodooDE's videos and take it seriously when he talks about FOV, because he's misleading. I don't think he's wrong, I just don't think he's testing it properly, or I don't even think he's testing it at all. I think he throws it in there, aligns it to whatever he thinks is good, and then clicks OK. I think he's really lazy with his FOV reviews. So take his FOV reviews with a huge grain of salt. There's definitely something wrong with the reviews that he does for FOV in VR headsets. I do genuinely think they're wrong, because here's the thing. If he's truly getting 80 over 88 of the HP Reverb G2, and I'm assuming this is the version 1 because he's not putting V2 there. If he's getting this result, but somehow gets this result the next day, does his head just morph every time into a new shape? Because I get it when people have different head shapes. I get that. I know. FOV is different for every person. But this shouldn't change this drastically. This is 94 over 78 for the V1, by the way. And look, now it's 80 over 88. That's a huge difference. That just doesn't happen. That just... Does he push his eyes in more and more? Or to get less and less FOV? He's not doing this properly. I'm just saying. I'm here to debunk it because people in the comments told me that VoodooDE gets different FOVs because of his head shape. And I agree with that. Everybody does. I have a different head shape than him too. I get much different FOVs than him. And that is fine. As long as you're honest. Because why is it different almost every time? You get what I'm saying, right? And he doesn't even put the G2 V2 up here, so making the G2 look bad. Like look at this. I don't think I was showing you guys. So look, 94 over 78. You go over here, it is 80 over 88. How do you get that drastically different? And then with his G2, here, 102 degrees over 94 degrees. That is a huge difference between these two as well, which blows my mind because 78 to 94 degrees, just because you slimmed off a sliver when you took off the glasses spacer, and you did that with the G2 V2, that is a massive difference. In my opinion, he should have probably gotten like 88 degrees if it was that big of a difference, or maybe even less. Why do I say it like that? Is because there's no way a tiny little sliver gave you that big of an FOV. Because I took off the glasses spacer off my G2 before. It's not that big of a difference. It gave me, what, from 104 degrees to 105 or 106-ish, if we're rounding up, degrees of FOV. So, I'm looking at this, and I'm actually genuinely confused by his FOVs. It's very misleading, and the way he talks about VR headsets are also very misleading and kind of stupid. If I let me explain here. For an example, for the Vive Focus Vision, he will shit on the controllers because it has a ring on it. It's kind of old school. But then when it comes to the Pimax Crystal, it's okay. So, like, as in, he's okay with the Pimax Crystal having rings on their controllers. Just not the Vive Focus Vision, though. You get what I'm trying to say here. His reviews are very misleading, and I don't think they are great for VR people who are trying to get into VR for the first time, because they're very confusing, and I stand by that. They are extremely confusing. Again, FOV varies to person. Everybody gets a different FOV. I get that. I'm saying that multiple times here because I get it. But it can't be this different on the same fucking headset. Again, I wouldn't mind if he's getting 78 degrees with the G2. I don't care. That's not what I'm offended about. It's the fact that his FOVs are different every time. And he also gets very angry when people criticize him about it. I will show you right now, actually. I'll show you. He gets very mad when people criticize. I think it is the G2 video, actually. Hold on, watch this.
Now, okay, guys, you didn't expect this picture, right? Because some months ago I said I will not show any values anymore, because a field of view values, because when I released the review of my the review of the HP Reverb G2 version 1, there was a shitstorm about the values. They said, oh, Voodoo is talking bullshit and this can't be right what he says. But I decided to show the values again because I don't fucking care about any other's opinion, because I know what I'm doing here. Yeah, I tested VR headsets since 2016 and I know what I'm doing here. So, but I have to tell you again.
Yes, he has been testing VRs for a long time, and I respect that, and that is great for the VR community to have someone who tests VR headsets very frequently, and that is really, really good. But you cannot, take criticism like that. Like, for example, I'm learning to take criticism better. I'm not any better. I suck at getting, when people say criticism to me. I take it better when it's from a friend, but when it's from a random person, I take it the wrong way, and I gotta stop doing that. I'll call myself out there, too. But when it's from a friend, I take it really good. So I gotta take it better, too. So, I'm not any better in that situation either, but I'm here giving him some criticism here. Take the criticism better. I don't think the people are telling you your values are wrong. I think people are telling you that your values are different every time. As in, how do you change in your other videos your FOV so drastically? I'll show it again. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about again. Just so you guys can get a gist of what I'm trying to say. We will go back here. HP Reverb G2. This is obviously the V1. 80 over 88. Put that number in your head. 80 over 88, okay? You go over here. Oh, sorry, over here. It is now 94 over 78. That is a astronomical difference somehow. I don't get it. Either he never tested it, he never even bothered to test it, or he's just grabbing pictures of FOVs off the internet because he's too lazy to buy the software or something like that. I'm not, that's just allegations though. Allegedly, sorry, not allegations, but allegedly. That's allegedly. But I don't know what he's doing and how he gets these so wrong and so different every time. But hey man, people are not trying to have a shitstorm is what you called it on you. People are just trying to give you some criticism, and so am I, because like I did with the G2 review you did. I said it was a really shitty review because I think you don't test it properly like MRTV does. I'm gonna keep bringing up MRTV. If you want to watch a actual true good review, even though he's a fanboy himself sometimes, he at least is honest 99.9% of the time about VR headsets, and he will show you what is up with the headset, what is wrong, what is good. So yeah. Anyway, VoodooDE, take this as a criticism video, not as a hate video. I don't hate you in any way. You're fine. Just be more accurate with your VR stuff. I know you've been doing it for years, and you've been doing it a lot longer than I have. I only started in 2018 with my VR headsets on my shelf and stuff like that. And My G2 FOV has stayed the same for me throughout my life so far, and I still use my G2 even though I hate doing it right now because I have to stay back Windows updates, which cause problems, which sucks because Microsoft's an asshole. But besides the point, I'm still using my G2 to this day, and it's not as bad as what you make it out to be, and you can even go see my videos of its occlusion and stuff. It's really not that bad, and I'm tired of YouTubers making it look, going out of their way to make it look bad when in reality it's really not that bad. And you can play shooters with the G2 just fine. Anyway, I just want to talk about that. I do want to show something really quick here before I go, because there's more criticism I want to give him, because I find it really dumb. We'll close off the G2 for now, because we're done talking about that. Okay, so I skipped here, and I want to show you guys that he talks about the controllers in such the most stupidest way I've ever seen. Actually, I think it's actually in his unboxing that I just need to show you. I don't think I need to show you the actual review here, but,
Not really interesting. Right. This is important stuff. So, and then look at this. Comes everything out here. So here are the controllers, and let me be honest. Let me get them out of the stuff here. Let me be honest. They don't really look modern. Yeah, they are really huge. They still have this ring here. This is very old school. Yeah, modern controllers don't have this ring. They are much lighter, much smaller.
So, okay, so modern controllers do not have that. Alright, hold on. Does he talk about control? I know he talks about controllers. Yep, it's right there.
Really, really good. Let's talk about the controller. So these are the included controllers, the Pimax Crystal controllers. And yeah, for me, they are enough for 95% of cases that I play. Of course, when you hold them behind your back, then the tracking is gone, of course. But normally you don't use it. When you just do like this bow and arrow games, that's fine.
Very fanboy.
Also, the buttons, they feel pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. Also here the buttons and also the click point of the thumbsticks are fine. We have two different buttons here on each controller. And when we check out the difference here, look at these. These are the Quest 2 controllers, and they are a one-on-one copy. Yeah, they look exactly the same. So this is fine. They just copied them, and that's good. I mean, why not?
So, okay, this was 8 months ago, to be fair. This is 8 months ago. This is, I think, around when the Quest 3 was out. Am I right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Quest 3, right up there. Yes, the Quest 3 was out. Alright? It had no fucking rings, okay? Okay?
But the reason...
This is Springtrap. God fucking damn it. Wrong video. I apologize to you, Floop Loops. Sorry. Anyway. I apologize. I was gonna watch that later. That was a DVD video. Oh, fuck. This video was 3 months ago. Sure, this one is newer than the other one. So why didn't the Pimax Crystal have no rings on their controllers? And why is it good when it's the Pimax Crystal, but not good when it's the Vifocus Vision? I want to give a little bit of criticism there, too. Your reviews are a little flawed, and they don't make any sense. I am sorry, my reviews aren't great either. I need to work on those as well, and stuff like that. I am sorry if this angers you. This is not a video to anger you or cause any drama. This is a video of criticism, and for a guy that says he's done this for years, there's a lot of flaws in your logic when it comes to reviews. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. This was a fun little video I wanted to make because I wanted to come out about this for a while, because every time I watch his reviews, I get lost. Like, I don't know what's going on half the time. And it looks like he's picking and choosing his favorite headsets and making them out to be better than the other headsets. Sure, there's better things you could get for the money, yeah, but still, like... And he doesn't even bring up the fact with the Pimax Crystal, you technically do have to pay more than the Vifocus Vision if you want all the fun stuff like base station tracking, better headphones or other stuff like that. But stuff like that, and then soon it adds up to be either the same price or more than the Vive Focus Vision, so just saying, you gotta watch out for that too, because a lot of reviewers won't tell you the accessories will cost a lot of money as well. Anyway, this is all I wanted to make a video about. Some criticism to VoodooDE. Do not go shit on him. Do not do that at all. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to give him some criticism and telling people to take what he says with a grain of salt, because so far his reviews don't line up with his other reviews, and it seems very biased when he talks about the Pimax Crystal, and he kinda isn't unbiased, and on top of that he somehow changes his FOVs every time on the same headsets that shouldn't be different at all. It should be the same for him throughout. If you got that value the first time, it should stay at that value. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that the FOV should be the same as my FOV. I'm saying that your FOV shouldn't be changing all the time. Like you yourself putting that headset on, it shouldn't be 80 degrees one day and then fucking 70 degrees the next day. That's not how VR headsets work. He's doing something wrong there. Unless if somehow his eyes work that way. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. A little bit of criticism. And to debunk this stuff because I had to. Anyway, this was Pira. Stay cool and stay the fuck out of my fridge. And you know what? Hit VoodooDE up with a subscribe as well, because his reviews in some parts are actually pretty decent if you're looking for specific parts. Just, again, his FOV and his controller reviews, I would take with a grain of salt if I were you. Yeah, so keep a good eye on those, but other than that, he actually has some good talking points when it comes to other things on headsets. Not all of it's bad. So hit him up with a subscribe, and I'll even link his channel down below. And hit me up with a subscribe too if you want as well. And like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Ring that bell icon so you don't miss any more of my content. And this is Beer. Stay cool and stay the fuck out of my fridge. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.